Hello everybody, it is Skull Queen and welcome back to a new video. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you so much for being here, and I don't know if you can tell by where I'm positioned, but today we are finally going to be doing the entrance for Blood Drop. And I don't know why, but the entrances are just one of the first things I like to do on any island. My idea going into this is to use the new road custom code that I have. I wanted to go straight from the airport and kind of center itself around here and then line up directly with the plaza. So from the plaza, I wanted to go down a few steps, and then it's gonna kind of be a crossroads, and we're gonna have a road going horizontally as well. And then the vertical road will pick back up where it's in line with the airport. So I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I'm gonna be speeding up the footage just because I know that this is gonna take me a while. And if you guys would like to see how I do it, then just keep watching. Okay, first and foremost, I always like to start with my pathing. So here I am struggling with the road design yet again. I could not get it to line up with either the airport or the resident services perfectly because my road is 3 wide and the doors are 2 wide. So I'm sure you guys have felt the struggle before too, but Nintendo just likes to torture us. I don't know. So I just finagled it the best I could. And don't worry, I do cut out a lot of the placing the road footage just because it is not so exciting, but I did leave most of it in there so you could get the general idea of how I did it. Also decided to add a crossroad that was going horizontally and vertically right at the entrance just to show that you can go both ways, and I thought it was kind of a funny pun on Animal Crossing. And you can see that I began filling in the rest of the road with various cracks and the cement custom code. And once we get to the decorating, it really starts getting exciting, I promise. But also, I don't know if you saw my custom code shopping video, but I came across a zombie design that I thought would be an absolute perfect flag, and I decided to go to Isabel and change it. And let me just tell you guys, I absolutely love it. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I do. Last step to that road design was adding the sidewalk, which I'm sure you just saw. So now the true fun can begin. I began with this crosswalk signal, and I think I moved this around a few times, but I just love how this adds a little bit of height and dimension right as you walk out of the airport. And I just really am proud of how these buildings turned out. I'm actually going to be splitting this video into 2. This video is going to include my abandoned electronics store and grocery store. The next video I post is going to be my abandoned gas station and construction zone. So be sure to subscribe so you can see when I drop the second video. But I began placing these wide display stands, but I'm not going to lie, I actually struggled quite a bit because I needed a lot more of the same color stands than I thought I did. Also, I have specific custom codes that I wanted on the top level to spell out a word, which you might have just seen. And so I just had a hard time organizing everything. But what I did find are these tokonoma stands are perfect for a building side because they really do look like a true building, and they do a great job at camouflaging all of the wide display stands. The only downside is it does leave kind of a gap on the left side, but you can cover that with either the storefronts or the retro train stations. So it's really not that big of an issue, and I do play around with that a little bit more on the other building. But here I am just rearranging the first level some more, and also adding some grates and simple panel designs to represent the doors that are cracked open. But here I am just rearranging the wide display stands some more and creating this building which really does come together. And this whole entire build was inspired by Horrible Gaming. She is one of the OG city island creators of Animal Crossing. I will link her Instagram down below. but I was watching her YouTube channel where she has a bunch of buildings, and I was really inspired. I thought for an abandoned city slash dystopia, I really wanted some more futuristic looking buildings, and so I pretty much copied her design to a T. Again, I'll link her information down below, but you'll see at the end that these come together so well, and I just love the end product. It was time to decorate the second level, and I'm sure you just saw, but I have these amazing custom codes that spell out the word help in blood smear, and I thought it would be perfect to have it as kind of like the city is crying out for help. This store is supposed to represent an abandoned electronics store, and I could not complete it without the stage flame machine, of course, to make it look like the building was set on fire. But I decided to, I guess, torture myself because I decided I could not live without placing a custom code underneath the stage flame machines. So literally, once everything was already placed, I had to lift it all back up, redo my terraforming so I had enough room to run around, place the great custom codes underneath on the grass right there, and then place everything back. So that was a ton of fun, but I also figured out that you can place a rescue mannequin inside the wide display stands, and that is a game changer. I thought that was so funny. It could be like somebody's just like dead up there as you enter the island, so that's a great introduction that people get. The wide display stands placed, it was time to add the electronic store-esque items in the display stands. So here we have a camera, some tangled cords, a wristwatch, and I was finally able to tear down the terraforming that we no longer needed. And that was essentially the end of this building. I do go back and add some final details at the very end, but the main building is here, and I just absolutely love how it turned out. move on to the grocery store, and dare I say, this might be my favorite build of the entire entrance. I really just mimicked the exact building layout as the left side, but I don't know why I struggled so much with the terraforming and trying to get it even. I had to run back and forth and look at my map so many times, so the struggle was real. But the grocery store, I love all the colors and the items that I got to use, and you'll see that I also add a little parking lot, and it's just amazing. So stay tuned and you'll see this grocery store come together very quickly. You can see again that I'm using the wide display stands as well as the tokonoma items as the building sides. And the custom codes that we can add in the back of the wide display stands I think is really cool. Once we have that done, we can start with the store details, and I actually thought ahead this time and was able to place a custom code before I added the wide display stands, which saved a ton of time. But you can see that I tried to save as much room on this left side as possible for my mini parking lot. It's not as big as I hoped it would be initially, but it is still really cute. Finally, we have all of the display stands placed, and I went ahead and tore down the rest of the terraforming that was no longer needed. And now the true fun can begin. I just love adding all of the decorations and finishing touches. I have a ton of grocery items, which thank you 2.0 update, because we now have so much more we can work with. Here I am just completing the sidewalk and road designs, and then you'll see the decorations begin. While I was creating this little parking lot here, I realized I didn't have any parking lot line custom codes, and I was not about to use another slot for this road design, so I just made do with what I had. I ended up using the little bike design instead. Now, to cover up this gap on the left side, I began playing around with the storefronts and the retro transportation stops, and they both looked good, but I just wanted it to have a more modern look overall, so I went with the storefront and pulled that up, and now we are going to begin placing some of the grocery items in the wide display stands. And like I said, we have so much to choose from now. We have a lot of food items and grocery bags and shopping carts. Oh, and it looks like I did end up using two storefronts there on the side. Here I am just adding some of the final touches. I love these shopping cart items. They are so cute, and this is where everything just comes to life. really wanted to use the stacked bags item that was customized in the ribs design, but it wouldn't fit near the grocery store, so I just ended up popping it right by the electronics store, and that was the last final touch of this build. Okay everyone, for the final walkthrough, I did time travel to Dawn because I think that is when I'm gonna save my final DA. Here is the electronics store. You can see that I added a little campfire, we have a rescue mannequin and a siren. I absolutely love this building. Moving on to the grocery store, again, another siren, a little zombie attack sign, and I just think these buildings are so realistic, so thank you Horrible Gaming for the amazing inspiration. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you want to see part 2, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!